In 1999, I was chairman of a land use committee for Manaway Township, and our job was to write a land use plan for our township. And at that time, the whole committee, which consisted of 25 people, including our zoning commission, said in the land use plan that if the Manaway Center School ever became available to purchase, that we would like the township to consider doing so. We never had an idea that that would happen, but in 2004, the school district consolidated the intermediate and primary schools, and this came up for sale. And so our township went ahead and bought it, and then they slowly started to rehab and check out building permits, and we needed to decide what we were going to do with it after that. But we felt it was important to buy this building because it had been built in 1914, and it's one of the more solid buildings probably in the whole county. So as years went by and they started getting together ideas for putting our township government into this building, we then decided that it might be a good idea to make it a community center. And the community building, which it had been the center of our township since 1914. It had been in continuous use as a school, and therefore had a lot of activity all the time. We then, a small group of us, formed a committee in my home called Friends of the Manaway Center School, and we wanted to give suggestions to the trustees at that time on what could rehabilitate this school and get it back into use. So out of that group grew the Mantel Restoration Society. That is basically our mission statement, is to keep these very old buildings in continuous use and keep them updated and in good shape. So with that, the community center has been the idea that came out of that, and we've been working to raise money. We had a challenge grant, which if we raised $10,000, an anonymous donor would give us $10,000 more, and we achieved that. I'm on the grant and funding committee in the township for the school, and we have applied for grants for the last 2 or 3 years, and the county has now given us 2 grants. We applied for state capital funding money, and we got $140,000 for that, and so we are now in the process of having an elevator installed in the building, and we hope to have that done by next year, which will make all the floors accessible to everybody. And I do believe then it will morph into a very active, continuously used community center and government center. We presently have formed a task force, and their job is going to be to guide us into creating and going forward with this community center. So that's about the spot we're at now, and hopefully in a year it will be a community center and in continuous use.